For being here. We're obviously moving toward a healthier economy. We're not quite there yet, but that notwithstanding, I think it's kind of useful to look even farther ahead to the next economic cycle. And that is why I read with interest that the committee projected last week that the Fed funds rate will top out at 2.75% to 3%. That can give you a lot of room to deal with the next recession, and as I am fond of saying, neither God nor anyone else has outlawed the business cycle. We will have another recession. So my question is, why don't you consider raising the inflation rate so that you have more bullets in your most powerful weapon to combat the next recession?
Well, this is something that researchers are looking at and are talking about, and for the reasons that you gave, I think it is an appropriate subject for research and for consideration if we remain in a low interest rate environment for a very long period of time. It's not something that the FOMC is actively considering, not at this time.
Are you open to it?
At the moment, I think it's not a priority for us to consider that right now, but I would not say never that it's not something. I think it's appropriate for researchers to consider the costs and benefits of it carefully. It's not something we're actively looking at, but I wouldn't say that it's something that we could never look at. But we are focused on trying to achieve our 2% objective. We want to emphasize that 2% is not a ceiling on the inflation rate. It's the target where we would like to be, that inflation can be above and below 2% at different times. We don't expect to always be there. I think we've realized—
Are you not concerned? I mean, the basis of my question is, you don't have enough bullets in your most powerful weapon. Are you not concerned at all?
Well, I am concerned, and I gave a speech at Jackson Hole that addresses this issue. First of all, I think that we may be required to use the same kinds of tools we used during the crisis in the event of a future downturn, and I emphasized that those probably need to be permanent parts of our arsenal. And beyond that, yes, further things. It's important to do research on other things, and I emphasize that Congress should also consider what its role should
Thank you.
Should be
I actually
if we're
read the
in
speech.
this world.
Thank you. Last time you were here, I asked you, when does America get a raise?
What is what?
When does America get a raise? I want to go down this road again with you a little bit briefly. Obviously, the economy is moving, although not there, in a healthy direction. Car sales are up, home sales are up. Median household income was up fairly materially, but wage growth still stuck, I think, at about 2.5%. Even in the last week recovery, wage growth was 4%. Chair Yellen, when does America get a raise?
So wage growth has increased a little bit, and I think as the recovery progresses, we will see some more pickup in wages. But productivity growth is a very important determination of real wage growth or inflation-adjusted wage growth. If nominal wage growth were to pick up and inflation picked up in tandem, that wouldn't be a real wage increase. So what we want to see is wages going up without its involving inflation going up, and ultimately the size of those paycheck increases in the long run are driven by productivity growth, and productivity growth has been very low. And I think that's one of the things that is holding down the improvement in living standards. So we are seeing some signs of a pickup, but ultimately if productivity growth doesn't pick up, then faster nominal wage growth would just prove to be inflationary. So that's
quickly,
a fundamental driver.
Quickly, what would you define as full employment as measured by U6, currently stuck at about 9.7?
So I don't have a definition. It's not, it's higher than it was before the crisis, even though U3 is down to normal levels. And I think that does signify some remaining underutilization.
Time of the gentleman has expired. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from